Republican pollster, ABC News contributor, Creston Soltis-Anderson. Thank you both for joining us. John, let me begin with you. John, the president's up and tweeting this morning, resisting this commentary analysis that says he's not the closer-in-chief here, but this whole effort has exposed the limits of his influence over those Republican senators.
Well, he says he is totally engaged, and he has been making phone calls, and you saw virtually the entire Republican Senate conference coming down here to meet with him yesterday. But, George, there are limits to what he can do. The bottom line is that this president does not have deep relationships with Republican senators. He doesn't have much influence with them. In fact, the senator that he is perhaps closest to of all of them is Rand Paul, who you remember he ridiculed during the primaries and who right now looks like the Republican most steadfastly opposed to this bill.
He, along with Susan Collins, a more moderate from Maine, on the other side. I'm going to bring that to Creston Soltis-Anderson. It really does seem very, very difficult for the president, Mitch McConnell, or anyone to find some path that satisfies both the conservatives and the moderates right now.
The balancing act is very challenging because any changes that you make to the bill that can bring along some of those more moderate members, folks like Susan Collins from Maine, folks like Dean Heller from Nevada, these are changes that are going to make the bill less appealing to someone like Rand Paul. So Mitch McConnell's got to find ways that he can bring folks from both sides to the table, but with the ability to only lose 2 members of his caucus in the vote, he doesn't have a lot of room to work with.
And doing all this, Creston, when the public support for both the House bill and this Senate bill, there's a new poll out this morning showing it's just at 17%, tremendously unpopular.
The politics of this also make it very challenging. So it's not just that folks on either side, moderate or conservative, have policy problems with the bill, but they're worried about what this might do back home, especially those moderate members. Curiously, until yesterday, a pro-Trump super PAC was saying they would run ads going after Senator Heller from Nevada for him not supporting the bill. They've since pulled those ads because such ads would make it harder for these folks to get reelected. But the politics make it tough. Folks are worried about taking this vote and what it might mean for their reelection chances.
And John, the president got chided yesterday for that ad because it was run by a super PAC allied with him. It's hard to see how this gets better over the 4th of July recess.
Opposition could get, in fact, increased. But, George, there's one big factor working to the Republican leadership's advantage here. That is that every one of those Republican senators in that room have campaigned on repealing Obamacare, and the alternative at the end of the day, if they cannot pass anything, is to leave